Thanks for being with us here on CBS News Chicago. I'm Marie Saavedra, and we're joining you with our continuing coverage as part of Chicago Decides as we look ahead to the municipal election on April 4th. Now, leading up to this, we intend to interview many of the aldermanic candidates who are involved in that runoff. And joining me now is Jessica Gutierrez. She's a teacher. She is one of two candidates running on the 30th Ward on the Northwest Side. Jessica, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start by asking you why you want to be alderman.
I want to be alderman because I have a deeply rooted commitment to my community. I was born and raised on the Northwest side of Chicago. And I think now more than ever, with all of the changes that we're seeing in city council, with all of the changes that we're seeing in Chicago after COVID, we need someone who's going to be bold. We need someone who's going to be fierce, who's going to go to city council and represent our community here in the 30th Ward, right? That was chopped up into so many different neighborhoods, so many different communities, and bring it together and unify our ward so that we can get the things that we need, so that we can bring all of those really important resources back to the 30th Ward. I think we need to make some noise, have some energy, and have people who are really rooted in this community. I have been a director of policy at a local nonprofit in the 30th Ward for the past 5 years, and I've seen the necessities of our residents across the ward. And it's time that we get to work and we have an alderman who's going to be responsive and transparent and who's going to show up for residents.
What would you say is the #1 issue facing residents in your ward right now, and what is your solution to combat that?
It's definitely going to be public safety. That is across the board. Public safety and responsiveness in terms of constituent services. And so what we have come up with is a plan. I think we don't have time for ideas right now. Ideas are nice, but we have a plan on our campaign. And on the day that we're victorious, right, we're gonna make our way into every section of our neighborhoods, and we're gonna complete an audit. We want a block by block audit of the 30th Ward. I wanna make sure that we're checking on visibility, right? That we're making sure that we know where the abandoned houses are, where the abandoned storefronts, what's the state of infrastructure, our streets, our sidewalks, our alleys, issues with rats, issues with cleanliness, right? Our bike lanes. I think that in order for us to gain the trust from constituents and residents and return, right, the voice of residents back to the people, I want to give residents something tangible in creating this audit that's going to go block by block, so we're not going in blind into what the issues of the 30th Ward have, and that's going to include auditing money, like SSA money that we have, right? Special service area funds that we have in the 30th Ward, TIF funding, but also making sure on the public safety end that, you know what, if there's a problem, if there's a shooting, if there's a carjacking, if residents are feeling threatened, that the alderman, that I hope will be me, will get out of bed, show up, and be with the residents. I want to make sure that the 16th, the 17th, and the 25th Police District commanders are all speaking to each other. We're also very close to an expressway, which has many jurisdiction issues, right? We have to make sure that transportation security, that the CTA, that Metro, the state of Illinois police, the sheriff's department, CPD are all in communication with one another, which I don't think that they are right now. It's time for everybody to start having these difficult, complicated, sometimes uncomfortable conversations so that we can start getting answers. And I think the way that we start that is our 100-day plan, going block by block, meeting residents, inviting them to come out and talking to them about the issues so that we can get started on the right step.
Voters ousted an incumbent mayor. There's going to be a lot of new aldermen in city council. How does that shape your perspective or the context of this job that you should step into should you be elected?
I think that it's wonderful. I leave every door that I knock telling residents that we should have a very optimistic look on what is happening in Chicago. Change is good. Change is healthy. And change is going to help us progress in the right way in Chicago. When we're electing new leadership, we're electing innovative ideas, right? We're electing energy. We're electing people who are ready and who have said that they're ready to hit the ground running and to take this back local, right? We all say politics is local. There is nothing more local like the job of an alderman. Let's bring it back to the people and work with them to hear what they're saying, right? We cannot let the perfection of ideology get in the way of the good. And that's what we've seen across the 30th Ward, right? We want a plurality of the votes. We want every neighborhood. We want every region, because our message has not changed since the first day. Our message has been a message of inclusivity and a message of welcoming and unification. We need to unite our ward.
Jessica Gutierrez, thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Joining us now is the other candidate for the 30th Ward who also works in education. Ruth Cruz is joining us. Hi, Ruth. How are you?
Hi, good. Thank you for having me.
I want to start with the question we are posing all of the aldermanic candidates, and it is, why do you want to be alderman?
Yes, first and foremost, I'm a mother, and I want to make sure that not only my children, but all of our children grow up in a safe community and also receive a quality education. But more importantly, I also want to build an independent, progressive ward office that is transparent and put people first.
What would you say is the number one issue facing your ward right now, or residents there, and what is your plan to fight it?
Yes, the number one issue right now, as many of us have been encountering across Chicago, it is public safety. It doesn't matter which part of the ward we are. That has been one of the main concerns, and my plan is to make sure that we address the root causes of crime, but also bring youth programs to the community. We want to make sure we keep our youth engaged and being productive. Also, I want to make sure that we focus on treatment at trauma, and bringing our mental professionals to work with our police officers to help them alleviate some of those responsibilities so they can focus on violence, crime, and theft. But also our CAPS engagement program, making sure that we build a relationship with our CAPS department in our community to address our daily concerns when it comes to public safety. But again, that will be my plan when it comes to public safety.
Okay. Voters ousted an incumbent mayor. There are going to be a lot of new aldermen in this new class of city council. How does that context shape how you look at the job should you be elected?
Yes, this is an exciting time for Chicago. As you said, we have a whole new city council coming in, and this gives us an opportunity to move Chicago forward and not backwards. We want to make sure that we're all working together and addressing these situations and being collaborative, bringing solutions to the table, not being divided. It's all about working together, because at the end of the day, our residents would like to see changes and would like to see actions as well.
Ruth Cruz, a candidate for the 30th Ward. Ruth, thank you again for being with us.
Again, thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching us here on CBS News Chicago. Be sure to stay with us with more of these candidate interviews as we get closer to the April 4th runoff election when Chicago decides.